Good afternoon and welcome to Waking Wellness. We have another episode for you guys. That makes 3 in pretty much the last hour, so we're getting to it. This episode is going to be about the pattern nap, and it is directed towards the moons. I have 2 that are those quick day patterns, like 2-day patterns I want to share, but those are sort of specific to me. So I wanted to share something that's going to be with all of you guys. So we're going to do the moon. And so we're in the first quarter moon Virgo. Right now, you might be feeling like you need to take action or get a jump start on the intentions you set at the new moon. They always hit it on the head. In a way, you're being asked to evaluate these intentions. The purpose of this moon phase is to get you to infuse the intentions you set a week ago with action and commitment. Now is the time to focus on your goals while having a clearer picture of the details that are needed to make things come to fruition. Again, it's so perfect that I did the episodes that I did right before this, all talking about abundance, all talking about intention, because that's what the moon and getting in tune with the moon doing and doing those moon ritual cycles helps us, or moon rituals helps us understand the cycles, right? And so the whole point of understanding the cycles is so that we can manifest and be in flow with the universe, so that our harvest is going to be as abundant as it possibly can. We're not working against the current of the universe. We are working in alignment with it. So I love that, it lets us know the purpose of this moon phase is to get you to infuse the intentions with action and commitment. With action and commitment, I just talked about this yesterday, about success being consistency, and focus. The ability to consistently focus is what yields success. And so talking about those things and infusing them now with the moon, you're just giving yourself a push up that stream, like I said, or like I was going into in the last episode, when we realize that we are that drop in the ocean, but actually the ocean, we are the ocean within a drop. Then we can really, it's like going into that ocean and getting streamlined down a current and pulled into, now we're getting there that much quicker to our journey and our destination. Almost like in Finding Nemo, when the were they turtles? Yeah, turtles. They hopped into the stream and then they were just flowing extra quick, because now you're in that current. The current is taking you. And so that's what using the moon to tap into the energy of the universe to work for us. Again, we're not working against the laws. We are utilizing the laws and the flow of the universe to help us. So I love the pattern. I hope you guys download it. And then also that now is the time to focus on goals. That focus is going to give us the power and the abundance to consistently have a desire to stay on our goals. That's why I'm here making these episodes. I just did 3 back to back to back, and it's awesome because I didn't want to stop, and I didn't. This was any other day, I may have not done 3 back to back to back, but my food may be ready, but it wasn't when I went in. And now that I've come out, I'm like, how can I fill my time? How can I do what I want to do and what I am sent to do, what I am meant to do, get the message across that I'm meant to get across while I'm not doing anything else? That's probably the best time, especially when I am in abundance. And it's because I am in abundance that I picked up the call right away. I picked up the phone. I didn't go and say, oh, maybe let me wait till I get home. That thought didn't even flash in my mind. And when I got ready to do the second episode, I started laughing because it did pop up, but it was so weak that I couldn't even perceive it as a suggestion. Do you hear me? That's what abundance does. It takes away all of the quote unquote weakness, all of the little, I don't want to just say little mindedness, but the little soul portion of that. Like anything that has you in a small soul form, like it takes that away from you. It takes away the contraction of the soul, and it teaches you how to expand, the importance of expansion, and it lets you know what it really means and what that connection is to our essence. And so that's what's so beautiful about the pattern. And I love, again, focus and they talk about having that clearer picture. I thought about that as well, and I've been thinking about the business. Okay, what I want to make it 50K within a year at least, and then by year 2 it needs to be at least 80K, and then as soon as I get around that maybe 60 to 70K, I already need to have a trained employee so I can go and partially give over or put a lot on that employee to give them over, like, let's say 35,000 of the work, and free up my time, go get some more jobs, get more employees. Then at a point, I'm not working the business at all. It's now fully automated. I'm just calling and checking on them if I don't want to just go and hire a manager, because hold on, I got a spider in my shirt. We don't do that. And so now I have a fully autonomous, which was, I told you guys the other day, is my purpose washing windows? I don't think that my purpose is to wash windows. But again, I said my purpose is to serve at the best ability that I know how to, and I've learned how to by learning the skills that I have and doing that. And it's authentic to me to need to own my own, to have my own business, to be my own boss. I don't care how long it takes, but that's authentic to my soul, because I have things on my life path that need to be completed, and I won't be able to do them at a 9 to 5. I won't be able to come with the energy I need to at somebody else's 9 to 5. I'll go to my 9 to 9. I'll go to my 6 to 6. Like for 12 hours, I can still do what I need to do, but I need to, that has to be with holding the clear intention that eventually the work and the vision and the energy that has been put into this is going to pay itself out by me making those right steps, decisions, putting the right people in place to take care of, my business aspects on the cleaning aspect, so that I can then go into and say, maybe we just doing wake and wellness now. We got over 1 million. We got over 1 million subscribers. We got over 10 million subscribers, guys. We're doing retreats. Come to London. Come to Paris. Come to Brazil. Peru. Let's get it, guys, because I have something that is for you guys. That's where my mind is. So I had to get rid of all of the I was feeling down because I wasn't where I know people thought I would be, or I should be, or that I want to be. And I need to get a 9 to 5 because now I'm getting a little older and I ain't hearing none of that, because I'm creating this life as I need to create it, because my soul has taken over, and now the ego has no authority anymore. It is subservient to the soul. The soul is calling the shots. The ego's falling in alignment like, all right, big boss, what we doing today? I'm going to go make it happen with all my will. You hear what I'm saying, man? You got to have that clearer picture. And again, I keep talking about integrity. The clearer picture comes from integrity, because your ability to be authentic to what it is you love, you need to grow and feel like how I feel right now. That's going to make you want to do it whether or not you're getting paid what you think you should be getting paid or not. That can do just like how the window cleaning service does for me, and gives you that gratitude that when I leave, I love knowing that I service lens windows and they look good. I can say nobody going to do better than me. I feel that and I know that. And if somebody do, then damn, I need to link up with them and learn. You hear me? Like, I love going down window lists and being able to connect on a soul level through service. You're doing something for somebody else, they give you in return, but then what's given back is so much greater. It's love. It's universal love. Unconditional love. Agape love. I can see me and you and me, and those aren't two entities. Namaste. Let's keep going. This influence can help you cut through mental confusion and allow you to gain a better sense of clarity on what to do next. It's so beautiful when you set your intentions with the moon, because they make you accountable, especially if you love the moon, like I love the moon, and you get into with the moon. Like I run under the moon naturally after I change my logical self a little bit after, let's say, freshman year of college. And I got way more in tune with the moon and with the divine feminine, aka understanding the intuitive side of life. I almost lived there because I used to only be logical and I used to only see that until I had my paradigm shattered. Literally, my vision in front of me shattered. Didn't nothing look like it used to look. Some stuff had some tingles in them. Some stuff had some vibrations in them. Some stuff had things that I ain't never even heard nobody else talk about. And I had to wonder if I was crazy or not. But guess what? Your boy wasn't. I kept doing the work. I kept figuring it out. Now I understand what the Antakarana is because I was doing it for 11 years. I was working on the Antakarana. As soon as I became awakened, I'd say my freshman, sophomore year, when I had to start getting into stuff, and I became awakened that sophomore year, I graduated 2010, high school was 2011, it's like 2012, so 11 years ago, when I had my first awakening, my first conscious awakening that I can mention in this life, in this human life. Almost had a quick blank. That's crazy. I just saw a lot. I'm sorry. But all the way from there, I was able to understand the Antakarana because I was working on all these things. I used to read these things and be like, what does this even mean, bro? I don't know what this is. Monad aspect, divine aspect of God. What is that? What? Like, huh? Or what? Like, you think you know, and then you think you start knowing what these are after a couple years in, maybe 2 years in, 3 years in, 4 years in. Nah. Then you actually experience a heart chakra opening up. You ain't just been reading it. And these things always are happening. But when I say there are times when you will sit in pure awareness. And that's the times when I'm at. So whether you are seeing in your body, maybe an illness that you've harbored, for some people have seen an illness and been like, oh my God, I had maybe a cancer. I had, like a lymphoma, or I had a damage, whatever it is, or I had a autoimmune disease. I had something, and then I was able to sit in pure consciousness, pure awareness. I was able to sit in source. I was able to sit in God. I was able to sit in the light. I was able to sit in the central sun, and I was cleansed. I was able to sit in the ocean. And because I realized myself in the ocean as the ocean realizes me and has given me the power to be and recognize and love myself as it does self, because that is the main purpose, and to expansively just keep doing that, I healed myself on a molecular level, quantumly. You can see it. You can see it in your body as a black something. You see this dark thing. I've seen times I've had darkness in my heart and was scared to get it out. And then after exercising and asking to cleanse, I've seen me breathe that out. Almost in like some of these possession movies I've seen. You know, doubt and grief and all these things, it's a reason why they get projected as they do. And it's a reason why things like suicide and the darkness of these things get projected as they do, because these do have entities attached to them. These do have personified versions that are, as well as some of these things are just strictly those things. But I say that because when you see yourself as what you are, you start giving yourself the permission, or actually you gave yourself the moment that you saw yourself as the permission to be as grand as you are. And that's, again, we're getting back to abundance. So come on, man. I hope y'all taking notes, man. That's the new wave. I hope y'all taking notes. So, okay, this is an excellent time to minimize distractions and ground yourself in the present moment. Tune into the decisions that feel right into your body. You hear what I'm talking about. Everything I'm talking about is even in feeling. Everything I'm talking about. If you in the ocean, you have to understand. You in there, you pushing your arms around, kicking your legs around. You feel what the water is like. You hear me? You feel like, and at some point, you will feel like just your head poking out, like you will feel one with it. This is the same thing that we have to do with our consciousness. And when we learn how to do this, this just becomes second nature. It's just being aware, just being conscious. So as you continue to follow your intended path, what you're building can become more tangible next week at the full moon. And I can feel that. I could feel it ramping up. Like I see people gravitating towards me. I just may have held the door for someone the other day, and her daughter said, "Oh, cheeseburgers," and she ran in, and then she said, "Oh my gosh, no, we're not supposed to." And I said, "I'm so sorry, I had the door open." She just ran in. She said, "No, when she see the cheeseburgers and fries, she just going for it. She already know." And like we had just maybe two more exchanges of words, but I was looking in her eyes and she was looking in my eyes, and even though we examined each other for a quick second, our human features other than the eyes, I felt us both get deep seated in the eyes, and I could feel her soul, and I felt what I feel like she felt. It felt like we did not want to pull away, like there was more to say, but that was the interaction. But that's also expansiveness, and that's love. When you're in that place, when you're in home and you're in abundance, you be like, do I have to leave? And you don't need to necessarily. We need to learn how to create that and expand that on the plane of the earth every day, in physical reality every day, so that that can be seen every day in a much more visible way. Because when we do that, then we can see love with our eyes. We can see and hold the intangible with our eyes. You know, that's something else. That's when heaven starts to manifest itself on earth, although it is already here, but it's done through humans, through our intention to connect with creation. And we become a beacon of a sort on the universe and within the galaxy. That's going to change everything. That's going to shift the whole vibration, and not just for humanity, but consciousness as a whole. I've been really reading, psychological or esoteric psychology, and I guess that's also been putting the plan of evolution in my mind a lot, and that's why I'm thinking on a much more grander scale. I'm thinking on my place in the universe in terms with what the universe already has in plan and already has in store for me, and I think that has me feeling like I have a much more bigger responsibility than what I have been. That's why I don't think about some things. Like, there's some things I do need to go do. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, I'm gonna show y'all my human stuff. I need to go get some like new clothes, some other clothes, some other stuff, maybe some stuff for the crib, like no cap. But to be honest, like, this is like what I'm like, this is what really matters though, right? Like, I need to be doing this, because if I could do this, and this is just a small example. Of course, everybody want to do this. I could monetize this. I could talk about what I need to talk about to y'all to give the healing that needs to happen, so we can actually make the change in our hearts, because the heart can create anything. To be honest, the heart, what the Buddha say, the hearts can make the clouds move, or this cloud. I think maybe the gray clouds turn blue, and I've seen that with my own eyes. I've done that. I know that may sound wild and a lot of people, but there's a couple other people that have done that and tapped into. And when they do, if you do it on a deep enough molecular level, I promise you that, and I'm looking for a text that talks about this if anybody knows one, when this is how I saw it, and it felt like poetry within, like a scripture that was written. When the sky, and I've read one text I had and I can't remember, when the sky and the sea come together, that's what it's a unification. And when you have that, the clouds will, out of nowhere, it'll be sunny bright, and out of nowhere it'll just flash rain, and the clouds will have, it'll feel like, and you'll know that the clouds have let everything go that they have ever been holding, and you will feel just the same, and you will know that you do have power over the universe. You have power with the universe. I promise you that. I've done that with a few people, and a few of you know what I mean by that as a very literal statement. A few of you have all had that experience and really gone home and had that happen. And so that's a beautiful and a powerful experience. But I'm just trying to show you guys the power of intention, the power of abundance, and the necessity for us to upgrade ourselves as best as possible, because this is really for the greater plan. Like, all that stuff is cool, like the big house. Yeah, I've been seeing Ferraris and stuff and things that are exotic, because that's what I like, and I'm like, you feel me? But it's crazy because I know it's showing me that now I'm tapping into my abundance more, and it's coming more viable. But it's funny because it's like, we be wanting that stuff, right? And I do want it because I don't have it, quote unquote, but it's almost, that's why even has more of an attraction because you don't have it. Like, you know, you want a whole bunch of whatever you just don't have, like, at the moment, or you want more of that. But when you get to your purpose, you like, what is the money, bro? Like, I'll do it because I had to do it. If I didn't do it, I wouldn't be me. I wouldn't be fulfilled. I'd be sad. I'd be down. I'd be living half of my level. I'd be living, you know, just a fraction of who I am. And no matter what anybody say, everybody in the world can say, you're beautiful, you're courageous, you're powerful, you're lovely, you're all these things. And if you don't fulfill yourself, you gonna always be empty. You don't fulfill your own cup, man, I promise, it don't matter how much external validation or how many times others fulfill your cup. It has a hole in it, you know? Like, it's just not going to work until you mend it and say, this is me, I am fulfilled. So, let me keep going because I know my food got to be ready now. This phase will likely boost your ambition and drive to succeed. And we're seeing it now. I'm talking about it, how it's manifesting in my physical business as it is changing me on my molecular level, and that's changing my relationships with others so they are able to see, like, I'm able to see in reality, in real time, what is happening, you know? And I'm talking to you about them. You can feel it. You can feel it. With each episode, I'm getting more confident, more abundant, and I'm feeling like more of my purpose is just being like addressed. It's just happening because I said it's happening and I'm making it happen. And as that happens, you get in a cycle and the cycle perpetuates it. And so again, in abundance, when you add a little abundance in it, we really start talking magic and miracles. However, be patient as you navigate through this time and don't put too much pressure on yourself. This is an opportunity to work through any limiting beliefs of your abilities or perceived mental obstacles. Yes, we have to learn how not to be so hard on ourselves. Learn kindness. We cannot be, and I've been talking to my mom about this and about love, like, no one can love us more than we can love ourselves. And I think I even recorded a little bit of our convo, and that's how I was letting you know. And I started telling her a bit how, she said, what? And because I said, no matter how much somebody else loves you, it's like what I just told y'all about the cup. No matter how much somebody else loves you, wants good for you, whatever it is, like, if that person doesn't love themselves, then it won't do what it needs to do because they won't allow it in to touch where it needs to touch. Is going to be met at the roadblocks that they have set up. So it may get into the skin and get down, but did it get all the way down to the heart? It may not. It may have got into the bloodstream, like, oh, thank you. But again, like I said with the chalice, like, if you have not mended the holes that you have in yourself, in your aura, then all of that energy, that love, whatever it is you fulfill yourself will be empty, will be poured out because you have not learned how to be whole. And anyone who's not whole will just keep expending all of the resources out of a desperation, and then also replenishing and fulfilling and gorging and doing an aspect of greed. How I said, you know, people who are in abundance don't fall into greed, not real abundance, because they know they can always manifest that. So it's a level of balance and it's a level of self-love, so they won't go overboard. But all those things go hand in hand. It's not like you get one and then the other. All those things are on the same plane. So I hope that really touches you guys. So we do need to be kind to ourselves. A lot of us need that a lot more. During this time, you may ask yourself, how can I create more time in my day to unpack my thoughts? I love that because that's what I'm doing right here, right now. I'm sharing it with you guys. How can I do this to help somebody else? And if it's helping me, it's got to help somebody else, even if it's just one person. We always think that, you know, we just don't want the one, like, you know what I mean? We don't want just we need the 1,000, the 10,000. We need all of, we need everything. And that is the reason before we start with one, we always want 10,000. And that's just not how things go. It really starts with one. And when we can be appreciative for one, then we can get two. Then after two, and we actually show true appreciation and pure intent, then the quality resonates. Then we can go and take care of 20, and then 2,000, and then 2 million. So we have to learn how to actually care for and the quality, and that and provide that, but through a service. And that comes from a learning of self-love. You hear me? That comes from understanding abundance is the true form of I am. And we have to learn how to live in that and accept that as much as we can. Some of us don't think that we're deserving. Some of us won't even touch that or won't believe it for whatever it is. But that's why I even love the last slide where it said, this is an opportunity to work through any limiting beliefs of your abilities or perceived mental obstacles, because some of us don't see that for ourselves. And I've been saying a lot lately that we need to see the best version of ourselves. And that comes in with integrity. Who are you at your core? I believe I'm a healer. So instead of me thinking that I need to and I do love photography, and I did start it because I was tapped in and seeing things that I was it was another way that I was trying to express God. But I don't need to, at this moment, be trying to follow all the ones that are in the mass media, because that's what's appealing. I had to learn to fall back off that and actually go into what it is that I loved and I actually wanted to do 10 years ago. I want to be on my Dr. Sebi. I want to be a mix of E.T. and Les Brown with some Mel Robbins, with some Jay Shetty, mixed with some EYA. I want to be prolific in this way and eloquent in this way that I am able to allow us all to look at ourselves in the multiple facets that we are meant to look at ourselves, so we can be as expansive as we are, so we can know ourselves as I am, so we can make the change that we are meant to make. And abundance crashes all of those limiting matrices that we have that says, I'm not good enough, I'm not deserving, who's going to buy from me, who's going to listen to me, who's going to think that my word is important, who's going to think that I can make the change, who's going to think that I'm the one. You're the one. I'm telling you right now, if don't nobody else think it, you should already be thinking it. And then somebody else gonna notice, they move different, they move confidently. I like them. Let me hire them for what this is. Let me see what they do. Maybe let me apprentice under them. Let me see what they got going on. I can maybe contribute to it. You may land on an angel investor because you've been doing your purpose and they watching you. I've been seeing a lot of clips about Tyler and saying you need to do what you do because that's what you meant to do. And it's beautiful because he lets it be known I was peeping Rex Orange County, who is cold as ever on YouTube, who's only getting, you feel me, 1 view, 10 views on stuff. He y'all crazy, bro, cold. Tyler signed him. And then as someone who follows or likes Tyler and rocks with his music or his message or his lifestyle, whatever it is that you as a follower of him, you will go, oh my God, that gives me hope. That message should be the same coming out of anybody's mouth, though, is what I'm saying. When we look at each other as souls and get on the soul connection level, we don't just say, oh, it's Tyler the Creator, so I got to believe. We start saying that's a soul that's telling you. And he's done it. And he helped the person that he's done it with. And he's got a whole bunch of friends who've done it. But the next person that, even if, let's say, Awaken Wellness, who I don't have, I may have 1 or 2 videos. I'm the person right now with the 1 or 2 views on my long edited versions, not my shorts, but my long edited versions. Or I only got 20 views on my shorts when I'm talking, but maybe 2,000 when I put up somebody like Rick Ross, or 3,000 when I put up or 10,000 when I have put up the Chance of Giorbo basketball game. But when I put up my content right now for what I want to do and my purpose, then I see, maybe 20 views, or I saw 500 on my shorts, and it made me very happy. Yes, okay, it's just about that algorithm. But when I see 2 or something, it makes me but that's the trick of the game, is those are just numbers. And we always think men lie, women lie, numbers don't. That's not the truth. The numbers will not always tell you what it is. The numbers will not always let you know how it really is. The numbers don't always show you how that player is actually affecting everybody's morale on the team and actually is the reason why everybody stays boosted. There's some things that the numbers don't show that you need to take account of. The numbers don't show how you bounce back always. The numbers don't show the infinite potential of the soul. It cannot show that. And that's what we are talking about. That's the level that we are playing on. That's the plane that we exist on. So we're not doing anything less than so. And I'm not disregarding or taught it like say like, oh, science is not able to. No. Science at some point is going to get in tune with all the other ones, as all the other ones are going to get in tune with science as they are now, as psychology is measuring these, what we used to call paranormal things like remote viewing stuff. We already know it's already going down. We already know people like the CIA and government we already know this stuff is going down and it's real. But what I'm saying is everything's going to catch up to each other and realize each other as a different aspect of each other. So we got to break the barriers of us thinking of ourselves as one-dimensional and realize that we are all these different aspects. And abundance allows that. Abundance welcomes that. It catalyzes that. That's what abundance is. And so to continue, and what new solutions can I consider? Those two go well together. How can I create more time in my day to unpack my thoughts, and what new solutions can I consider? Beautiful. I just talked to my mom the other day about how to unstress a little bit and writing down a list and not making that a stressful activity. Just keep adding to the list or making a whole bunch of lists, but write down the 3 most important things and then just tackle them and say, okay, I'm going to just do the first one however long it takes. And you keep doing that, and you keep doing that, and you keep doing that, and it changes the way that you do things. It changes the way you feel. It changes the productivity, and you start feeling like, oh my God. You start celebrating yourself, and your mind isn't so boggled. Now is when you may start to see the building blocks of your attentions forming right in front of you. We've been talking about it the whole time. It's a good idea to strengthen the structures in your life in ways that allow you to streamline your tasks without overworking yourself. I just talked to Alyssa about that this morning. I told her that I'm working on making sure I'm streamlining so you can produce how you're meant to produce. And that is a thought of abundance. A mind in a poverty or a poverty mindset is not going to allow you to think about expanding, because you will be way too concerned with, oh my God, I can't get out. We're talking about Amyao, Makyao, the can't and I can, and you're just stuck in I believe it's the Makyao, I can't do this. Like, you need to learn how to erase that from your vocabulary. I don't even like saying that because that puts me in it just made me feel like, let me shake that off me. But you get in that, like, I don't know if this is possible, or you just let it be known that this is not possible. And something that I learned when I first opened my mind and became consciously aware of is our mind goes through channels. I was able to see an internal version of, and however you want to talk about it or view it, it don't matter. To me, because I know how I saw it, but I saw it on multiple, saw it very physically, but I also saw it on a astral type of plane, and I saw that the channel, they are literal channels. I could see these channels, and the moment that I believed I was able to do something, that channel was flooded, and I could see the flood going through and imbuing me like inspiration with vitality, letting me know that it was possible, already walking on the path of making it possible. And I could see it coming into fruition. Whereas when I thought the other way, I could see it was like a circular door drop down and cut that channel off, stopping any flow through it. And it pretty much blackened off and said, no more. So as if I said I wanted to be a football player and I said, oh, I can't, then that door dropped. And now that thought almost becomes dead. It starts to fade off if you do not feed it any more life. If you never open that channel and say, well, maybe, then that door won't open and it won't start getting fed. It's just like our blood vessels almost, in a way, and how it carries that down. But we would cut off that vessel, and if all the vessels were to stop being supplied with blood, it would just die and fade off, that part of the body. And it's the same way with the dream, with an idea. And so it's beautiful that I'm even bringing this up with you guys. Wow, the way things come out of the subconscious. I haven't talked with anybody about that in a long time, or maybe period. But being able to see that and understand that, and it's no different than, like I just said, in our veins is no different with the neurons. That's actually exactly what's happening with neurons and the synapses. Like, that's why I love that I came in with psychology, and psychology was the pathway to lead me into understanding that my, like, spirituality. It gave me the framework and the basis of a human in the mind, and to optimize, which was my goal of the self, I had to learn the soul. And once I learned the soul, I've been doing esoteric psychology from the beginning without knowing, because I was allowing my soul to be present. And so my soul has already had a very guiding force over my life. And understanding that is me walking into my abundance, being true to self, and true to my purpose, meaning living in integrity no matter what anybody else says, or no matter if I've been vocalizing this with anybody and having to explain why I was doing certain things I was doing, whether I was trying to make this photography pop and it haven't in like 5 years, and people, and literally having like people like one of the shorties I was rocking with, and even people that I know that I love, they want things to be great for you. They want it to be the best for you. So to not see it take off to the level that you have hoped and they hope for you, to the grandest level, can be like, oh my God, like I said, people be like, well, it's getting close, you're getting older, like you're 30 now. Like, I've always been like this in the sense of aspect that I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I was selling my toys before I would throw them in the trash. I was selling like juice boxes and candy and chips at the Richard Daley camp. Like, I've been doing this, and I will do it because I am meant to be my own. And until I bring it to the level of success, of a global international success, I'm going to keep visualizing it that way for multiple aspects of my life, and especially for the wellness and healing aspect, because that's a universal plan for me. So no matter what, you have to learn to trust yourself, because that is the real abundance level. And that's when you get to how I feel right now is like, nothing can stop me. Nobody can tell me anything. I know the truth. I know who I am. I know what I am. And I know if I stay in that, because I stay committed to that it will grace me and bless me with the energy that I am, the love and the blessings that I am, and that is meant for me. Also, check in with yourself to make sure your projects and ideas are coming from an authentic place, what I just say, so you can pour your love into them to make them grow. It's the only way. Producing work that's motivated by your ego can cause you to spread yourself too thinly. I just talked about the soul being in control and the ego being subservient to it to get the maximized effect for growth, to get the optimization that you need to be your best. Producing work, can spread yourself too thinly into directions that move you away from your purpose and mission. Everything I already just talked about is just all of that. So I'm not even going to keep going in any further. In the next couple of weeks, you'll have clear insight into how your goals are manifesting in the external world. Been talking about this the whole way. Don't even have to keep going deeper in there. In the meantime, focus on becoming more present and tuning into how your body feels. Been talking about abundance. How do we do that abundance? We have to already be. You have to learn what that means to you. Like I said on one of my IG captions about integrity and learning about this abundance, is I sat there for months on months to years to ask myself what integrity was, ask myself what abundance was, ask yourself what love is, what beauty is. Just like philosophers, theologians, you have to ask yourself about these things. These things not just gonna come to you if you never ponder on them. That's why some of us are so limited and minimal in our thinking and being, because we never tell ourselves and direct ourselves to go into that thinking. We never ask ourselves, am I beautiful? What does it mean for me to be beautiful? What does a beautiful act look like? What does the soul look like? Is the soul exist? What would I be and look like if I, am the soul at its greatest point? Those kind of questions get you somewhere different in life, get you to experience a different reality in life, even if you are standing next to a person for their whole life or had all the same experiences. It puts you in a different position because you see life differently. You are a different being. And just being in abundance, just as I said in the very beginning of all the episodes, of the past 3 episodes, is life is beautiful in abundance. That's all I have for you guys for this first quarter moon Virgo. I'm just so grateful you guys are tuning in. I hope this helped you change some of your thoughts in ways that are beneficial for you. That's not me asking for you to believe anything that I said. That's for you to go and do the research on your own, for you to ask the questions on your own. Ask, do these align with you? Have you been feeling these with the moon? What would your next week look like if you actually stayed with this? What would your next month, what would your next year look like if you stayed manifesting intentionally? If you stay manifesting in cycle, in conscious awareness of cycles with the moon? Like, ask yourself these questions. I'm just here to bring the idea to stimulate a different kind of being so that you can become the best kind of you that you decide to be, because that's going to be a different being than you are right now. I love you guys. This is Waking Wellness. Health is wealth. Go download the Pattern app.